The doctor knows no more about me than I know myself. The doctor be, have you any last wishes I can attend to? None, sir. Shall I send for a clergyman? Septimus Notman looked at me as directly as he could. He was afflicted with a terrible squint. Otherwise he was a fine, stoutly built man with a ruddy face profusely encircled by white hair and whiskers, a hoarse, heavy voice, and the biggest hands I ever saw. He put one of these enormous hands under his pillow before he answered me. "If you think," he said, "that a clergyman will come to a man who has got the devil's spectacles here under his pillow, and who has only to put those spectacles on to see through that clergyman's clothes, fresh and what not, and read everything that's written in his secret mind as plain as print, fetch him, Master Alfred, fetch him." I thought the clergyman might not like this, and withdrew my suggestion accordingly. The least I could do, as a matter of common politeness, after giving up the clergyman, was to ask if I might look at the devil's spectacles. "Hear how I came by them first," said Septimus. "Will it take long?" I inquired. "It will take long, and it will make your flesh creep." I remembered my promise to my father and placed myself and my flesh at the mercy of Septimus Notman. But he was not ready to begin yet. "Do you see that white jug?" he said, pointing to the washstand. "Yes. Do you want water?" "I want grog. There's grog in the white jug, and there's a pewter mug on the chimney-piece. I must be strung up, Master Alfred. I must be strung up." The white jug contained at least half a gallon of rum and water, roughly calculated. I strung him up. In the case of any other dying person, I might have hesitated, but a man who possessed the devil's spectacles was surely an exception to ordinary rules, and might finish his career and finish his grog at one and the same time. "Now I'm ready," he said. "What do you think I was up to in the time when you all lost sight of me? The latter part of that time, I mean." "They say you were a pirate," I replied. "Worse than that. Guess again." I tried to persuade myself there might be such a human anomaly as a merciful pirate, and guess once more. "A murderer," I suggested. "Worse than that. Guess again." I declined to guess again. "Tell me yourself what you have been," I said. He answered without the least appearance of discomposure. "I've been a cannibal." Perhaps it was weak of me, but I did certainly start to my feet and make for the door. "Hear the circumstances," said Septimus. "You know the proverb, sir. Circumstances alter cases." There was no disputing the proverb. I sat down again. I was a young and tender man, which in my present position was certainly against me, but I had very little flesh on my bones, and that was in my favour. "It happened when I went out with the Arctic expedition," Septimus proceeded. "I've forgotten all my learning and lost my memory for dates. The year escapes me, and the latitude and longitude escape me. But I can tell you the rest of it. We were an exploring party, you must know, with sledges. It was getting close to the end of the summer months in those parts, and we were nigher than any of them have ever got since, to the North Pole. We should have found our way there, don't you doubt it, but for 3 of our best men who fell sick of the scurvy. The second lieutenant who was in command called a halt, as the soldiers say. 'With this loss of strength,' says he, 'it's my duty to take you back to the ships. We must let the North Pole be, and pray God that we may have no more invalided men to carry. I give you half an hour's rest before we turn back.' The carpenter was one of our sound men. He spoke next. He reported one of the 2 sledges not fit for service. 'How long will you be making it fit?' says the lieutenant. 'In a decent climate,' says the carpenter, 'I should say 2 or 3 hours, sir. Here, double that time at least. You may say, why not do without the sledge? I'll tell you why. On account of the sick men to be carried.' 'Be as quick about it as you can,' says the lieutenant. 'Time means life in our predicament.' Most of the men were glad enough to rest. Only 2 of us murmured at not going on. One was a boatswain's mate, t'other was me.